You're in the prime of your life, feeling unstoppable, when suddenly, a silent killer starts creeping up from within. Your prostate begins to swell. Inflammation flares like wildfire. And before you know it, you're facing nights of agony, constant trips to the bathroom, or worse, a diagnosis that shatters your world. The culprit isn't some mysterious disease. It's sitting right on your dinner plate, disguised as everyday food. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on 3 foods that are absolutely wrecking your prostate. Backed by science, real stories, and expert warnings that could save your life or the life of someone you love. Your prostate is that walnut-sized gland below your bladder, responsible for producing seminal fluid and keeping your reproductive system humming along. But in men over 40, it's under siege from modern diets loaded with hidden toxins. The 3 foods I'm about to reveal aren't just unhealthy, they're prostate assassins, triggering inflammation, hormone chaos, and even cancer risks that build up silently over years. First up, processed meats like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and deli slices. You know, those savory treats we crave at barbecues or quick lunches. But beneath that smoky flavor lies a nightmare of nitrates, nitrites, and heterocyclic amines formed during high-heat cooking. These chemicals don't just sit in your gut, they migrate to your prostate, sparking chronic inflammation that enlarges the gland, leading to benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, or worse. It all ties back to how these meats are preserved and processed in factories. Nitrates convert to nitrosamines in your body, compounds classified as carcinogens by the World Health Organization. Studies from Harvard's long-term health research on over 50,000 men showed that regular consumption of processed meats increases prostate cancer risk by up to 20%. That's not hype, it's data from tracking diets and health outcomes over decades. It disrupts zinc absorption, a mineral crucial for prostate health, leaving your gland vulnerable to oxidative stress and cellular damage. According to the American Urological Association, prostate issues affect over 50% of men by age 60, and diet plays a starring role. Processed meats are packed with saturated fats and advanced glycation end products, AGEs from charring or smoking, which promote insulin resistance and elevate IGF-1 levels, a growth factor that fuels prostate cell proliferation. The FDA has warned about nitrite additives since the 1970s. Yet they're still in everything from pepperoni to ham. A meta-analysis in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute reviewed 28 studies. Men eating the most processed red meats had a 12–15% higher odds of aggressive prostate cancer. It's not just correlation. Lab tests show these compounds directly mutate DNA in prostate cells, turning healthy tissue into a breeding ground for trouble. You're a dad in your 50s grilling burgers with the kids. But inside, your prostate is swelling like a balloon, pressing on your urethra. Nocturia kicks in, you're up 5 times a night, exhausted, irritable, straining your relationships. Energy plummets, libido fades, and that nagging fear of cancer looms. One study from the Prostate Cancer Foundation estimates that diet-related inflammation contributes to 30–40% of BPH cases, leading to medications, surgeries like TURP, or even impotence as side effects. Financially, it's devastating. Prostate treatments can cost tens of thousands, draining savings and stressing families. Take John, a 52-year-old truck driver I heard about in health forums. He loved his daily bacon sandwich, thinking it was harmless protein. Over 5 years, his PSA levels skyrocketed from 1.2 to 4.8. Biopsy revealed early-stage cancer, traced back to years of nitrate exposure. He underwent radiation, lost weight from stress, and now preaches ditching processed meats to his buddies. Or consider Mike, a fitness enthusiast who swapped steaks for sausages post-workout. At 45, he faced erectile dysfunction from inflamed prostate vessels. It strained his marriage until he cut them out within months. Symptoms eased, and he regained confidence. Warnings are critical here, ignore them, and you're playing Russian roulette with your health. The International Agency for Research on Cancer labels processed meats as Group 1 carcinogens, right up there with tobacco for prostate risks. If you have a family history of prostate issues, this multiplies the danger. genetics plus diet create a perfect storm. Frequent urination, weak stream, blood in urine, or pelvic pain, these aren't just aging. Women, listen up too. This affects your partners, fathers, brothers. And kids, if you're feeding dad hot dogs, you're setting him up for future heartbreak. These foods addict you with salt and fat, making quitting feel impossible, but the prostate damage accumulates silently until it's too late. Dr. Aaron Katz, chair of urology at NYU Winthrop Hospital and author of Dr. Katz's Guide to Prostate Health, warns that processed meats are prostate poison due to their inflammatory load. In interviews, he cites how they disrupt the microbiome, allowing bad bacteria to thrive and leak toxins to the prostate via the gut-prostate axis. Urologist Dr. Gio Espinoza, host of the Prostate Health podcast, points to epigenetic changes how nitrates alter gene expression, promoting cancer growth. The European Prospective Investigation into Cancer and Nutrition (EPIC) study, involving 500,000 participants, high processed meat intake correlates with 18% higher prostate cancer mortality. Even nutritionists like Dr. Michael Greger of nutritionfacts.org break it down. For every 50 grams of processed meat daily, cancer risk jumps 10–20%. Dairy products, especially milk, cheese, and yogurt from conventional sources. That glass of milk or cheeseburger seems innocent, a staple since childhood. But it's laced with hormones, antibiotics, and casein protein that inflame your prostate like gasoline on a fire. Cows are often treated with recombinant bovine growth hormone, RBAA, to boost milk production, flooding dairy with IGF-1, the same growth factor I mentioned earlier. This mimics human insulin like growth factor, accelerating prostate cell division and turning benign growth into malignancy. Dairy's saturated fats and estrogens from pregnant cows disrupt your testosterone balance, leading to dihydrotestosterone (DHT) buildup, which enlarges the prostate. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed 3,000 men and found those consuming the most dairy had 30–50% higher BPH risk. Casein, the main protein, forms casomorphins, opioid-like compounds that addict you while promoting mucus and inflammation systemically. Official details from the Physicians' Committee for Responsible Medicine highlight that dairy is linked to higher calcium intake, but in excess, it suppresses vitamin D activation, crucial for prostate protection. The USDA allows traces of pus and blood in milk, up to 750,000 somatic cells per milliliter. Yes, that's inflammation markers, and pasteurization doesn't eliminate hormones. High dairy consumers had 7–11% elevated prostate cancer risk per daily serving, with cheese being the worst offender due to concentrated fat. Imagine slicing into a pizza, cheese pulling like strings of comfort, but each bite chips away at your vitality. Men report bloating, fatigue, and that heavy feeling in the groin as prostate swells. One father shared how his ice cream habit led to prostatitis at 48 fever, chills, and pain that left him bedridden, missing his son's graduation. Relationships suffer. Intimacy becomes a chore amid hormonal havoc.